Hello beautiful people, I'm DJ and welcome back to my channel DJ Cooks and Books. Today I will be recommending books to the men and women of Love is Blind season 4. So let me tell you about the show. It is a Netflix reality show. It's about these men and women who date each other, speed date each other in the beginning through a wall. There are these pods, these little rooms where they are put from across each other, and they talk to each other but they can't see each other, and they feel attraction just on the basis of who the person is as a person and not just by looks. And that's the social experiment, and through which they want to prove if love is blind or not. And it's a funny show. It's like not very serious. It's meant to be taken with a big grain of salt, so please do take this video also with a big grain of salt. Okay, let's get started. So the show has a lot of people who are clout chasers, and they're not there for the right reasons. They are there for just hanging out and getting famous Instagram followers, etc. But there are sweet moments in the show as well. There are some sweet people, funny people, genuinely innocent souls who become kindred spirits of each other, and I like that. I am a little bit of a sappy person in that matter sometimes, and this season was especially very nice in that regard. I really liked some of the people from the season, not all of them. I'm looking at you, Jackie. Okay, so this video is going to contain mild spoilers, or maybe not so mild spoilers, so please watch at your discretion. The first pair that I'm going to suggest for the safest bet that you could have made if they are going to end up together at the end of each other. Okay, I forgot to explain that at the end of this experiment, after 1 month of actually dating each other outside the pods, looking at each other, finally after getting engaged in the pod without seeing each other, these couples have to go to altar and say I do or I don't, and that's where the experiment ends, if they get married or not. That is the full extent of the show. So the suspense is that if these people are going to say yes or no. Tiffany and Brett this season, I knew for sure they're going to be saying yes. They are so sweet and they are very much in love with each other since the beginning, so that was pretty obvious when they said yes. I want to recommend a book to Tiffany called Husband Material. Tiffany is actually unwaveringly in love with Brett, and Brett is also in love with Tiffany, but the wedding and the preparations of the wedding and explaining everything to her family and friends is getting to her. She's getting frustrated, she's getting anxious, and this book, Husband Material by Alexis Hall, is perfect for her because it's a similar concept. The couple in the book is in love, they have established that, but then they are forced to behave like society's expectations from them. And in this book especially, they explore queer identity and what is it to be queer or LGBTQ plus, and marriage and marriage equality for LGBT people, etc. And there is a wedding stress element also, which Tiffany can relate, so I'm going to recommend that book for Tiffany. And for Brett is sweet and he's artistic. He's a designer, he's a shoe designer, and that reminds me of this manga called Garden of Words by Makoto Shinkai. There is a beautiful anime movie as well on this manga, and in which a high school boy student falls in love with an older woman. The boy is also aspiring shoe designer. That's why I thought of this, and then I thought about other similarities between the book and Brett's story. Brett is also in love with an older woman, albeit she's just a little bit older, and in this book the age difference is significant. And then their lives are quite chaotic in the manga, and these two people, the boy and the older woman, they come to this park in rainy season to be able to get away from all the chaos, and I feel like Brett will enjoy this, getting away from the chaos. So that's my recommendation for Brett. Next, I'll be talking about my personal favorite couple, Zach and Bliss. So Zach and Bliss had a unique story. It's a story of second chances. It's a story of love that is not going in a straight direction. There are some deviations, some hurdles in the middle, and there are some big hurdles like Irina but they still persevere, and it's so sweet. Both of them are very sweet, and they don't get off on the right foot in the beginning. And that reminds me of a book called Book Lovers by Emily Henry. The protagonists from the book also do not get started on the best terms with each other, and there are a lot of practical problems in their lives and a lot of reasons for why they shouldn't be together, but they are so in love that all these reasons finally don't really matter, and they just choose each other and end up together. And that's exactly perfect for Zach and Bliss both. So I will recommend both of you, Zach and Bliss, please read it, as if they are going to read it. Actually, I'm like super taking it seriously. Like I hope these people watch these recommendations and take them and read them. Okay, let's move on to the next couple. Let's talk about the messy couple, Chelsea and Kwame. They are sweet, but they are messy, and they are kind of super opposite in terms of their personalities. Chelsea is very gung-ho about everything being awesome and all rose-colored glasses, and she is not able to look at negatives, even if Kwame is repeatedly looking at negative things and showing her all the problems and all the practical issues. But Chelsea is like, no, my fiance is perfect. And she's kind of delusional. Sometimes she comes across delusional, so that's why I have to recommend All Is Well by Mona Awad to Chelsea. Actually, any of these Mona Awad book could be perfect. Bunny as well. And there is another book that Chelsea might enjoy, that is Comfort Me with Apples by Katrina Valente. I think that's what her name is. And in these books, the main female protagonist is delusional, and through which just faking it until she makes it, and that's exactly what Chelsea does, I think. Good for her, but should maybe like look seriously on to what's going on around her, and that's why this book is good for Chelsea. And for Kwame is struggling with his cultural identity. He is from Ghana, and he moved to the US when he was 8 years old, and he is stuck between his traditional values and his values of his adoptive country, that is the US. And I get that struggle, so I would recommend a non-fiction book for him, which is called The Problem with My Normal Penis by Obioma Uguola. Obioma Uguola is an actor, a British actor, but he is also from African descent, and he, in this memoir, tells about his struggle with masculinity, the expectations stereotyped by the society, and the race, all these problems. And I think Kwame will benefit from reading this book a lot, so I recommend that book for Kwame. Next up is Jackie, the villain of the show. She's very fake. She comes across very fake, and I don't know, she's looking for a toxic person as her partner, which is no good at all. And for that, I want to recommend Jackie, the Girl Boss Who Gaslights Normal People by Sally Rooney. It's a cautionary tale of toxicity, and it's where you should not let your insecurities come in the way of love towards other people who genuinely love you. I think Jackie should read it and introspect a little bit. And for Marshall, the cinnamon roll of the show, I would like to recommend Miss Ice Sandwich by Mieko Kawakami. It's a very sweet book. The protagonist has such a innocent demeanor. The protagonist is a elementary school boy, and he is infatuated with this lady who is a sandwich vendor in the local supermarket. And it's a very sweet story, and I think Marshall can relate to it, and I think Marshall will enjoy it. So that was it, my recommendations for all the people, not all of them, but most of the people from Love is Blind. I wonder what you would recommend them to read. Let me know what are your recommendations for the people from Love is Blind season 4. Let me know if you have any other thoughts about the show, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.